Is this the dagger?
G'day guys, JB here. Game 5 of the 2025 NBA Finals in the books, all wrapped up, and we are one victory away from determining an NBA champion, and that champion potentially being the Oklahoma City Thunder, getting the job done. Game 5, squeezing the life out of Indiana from about the 7-minute mark onwards in the fourth term. Even after a big run, it was that last 7 minutes, but all that ended that game. Gallant fight to get back within 2 by Indiana, but it was way too much for them to overcome. Oklahoma City 120, Indiana 109, and they secure the win to go ahead in the series. They head back to Indiana. Game 6 is going to be tough, and there are injury concerns galore for the Pacers team, particularly with a key player, arguably their most key player. But we will see exactly how that continues to pan out. When you look across the line there, Oklahoma City, Jalen Williams, he finally managed to just get it all together. It's taken him 5 games to do so. Whether it's getting scores, whether it's being efficient, he managed to do it in this one here. 40 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists to go with a steal and a turnover. 14 of 25 shooting, 3 of 5 from deep, 9 of 12 from the free throw line. The best game that he's ever been able to put together, arguably in the most important moment, which is probably what makes it the most important game that he's ever been put together. But in saying that, it's very hard to shy away from Gilgeous-Alexander as well. 9 of 21 shooting, 13 of 14 from the stripe, and that included missing all of his 3-point attempts. He had 3 of those, but managed to make up for 31 points, 10 assists, 2 rebounds, 2 steals and 4 block shots. 3 turnovers there, the MVP doing MVP things. And then production off the bench. Once again, Aaron Wiggins, huge in the scoring department. 14 points, 5 assists to go with a block shot. 4 of 10 from the field, 4 of 7 to deep, perfect from the line. Kenrick Williams, he didn't get much done there, but provided, very casual minutes. It was Cason Wallace, surprisingly enough, with his best game. 11 points, 2 rebounds, 4 steals and a block shot, 4 of 5 shooting, 3 of 4 from deep. And even Alex Caruso, with only the 2 points, still managed to get 4 steals and plenty of hustle plays. One of the better 1 of 8 shooting games we've seen in recent NBA Finals history. For the Pacers, the vanquished at this point, 9 of 15 shooting for Siakam to go with 3 of deep, 3 of 6 from deep, 7 of 8 from the line, 28 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 6 turnovers, proving costly there. He still remains the leader of this Pacers team in a really big way, the way he's been playing so consistent. TJ McConnell, big off the bench, 18 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, 3 turnovers there, trying to get it done. 8 of 14 from the field, 1 or 2 from deep, perfect from the line. You move over to 14 points for Aaron Nesmith, as I mentioned there, to go with 6 rebounds and a steal, 5 of 9 shooting, 4 of 5 from deep. When you go to 13 points to Miles Turner, wasn't able to get that shot going early, but was able to contribute where he could. 13 points, 6 rebounds, an assist and a steal. Didn't turn it over, didn't record a block. 3 of 5 shooting, 1 or 2 from deep, 6 of 7 from the free throw line. And early on in this game, back and forth action the first quarter, till Oklahoma City were able to break away and get a 10-point lead, just proving crucial there, 32-22 at quarter time. Leading the way for all scorers at that point in the game, Gilgeous-Alexander, he was consistently around the mark all game. 7 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 2 or 3 shooting, perfect from the line as well. You had 6 points from Jalen Williams, as I mentioned, finished with a 40-piece in this game, plus 10 in the first term. 6 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists and a steal, 3 of 8 from the field. And Pascal Siakam trying to tune him where he could. 6 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists to go with 3 turnovers, 2 or 3 from the field, 1 or 2 from deep, 1 or 2 from the line. As I mentioned, a real backwards and forward start to this game, some explosive plays from Oklahoma City, and to be fair to Indiana, they didn't try and play into that style of game too much. They managed to just sort of quell things, get a basket, get a quick little layup, slip the defense, sort of hit Oklahoma City where it hurt them the most. Backwards and forwards until a couple of runs there, really getting that crowd involved. I mean, we're hearing reports at the moment that it's as loud a venue that the NBA's ever seen For anyone who's followed NBA history, the Delta Center known as a really raucous crowd as well. So something to really keep an eye on with the home court advantage there. You've only got to look as well. Casey Wallace had a really nice contribution in the first term there, 6 points, 2 of 2 shooting from the bench. So they were starting to really spread things there for Oklahoma City. There's always been a player stepping up and stepping out in these games. Wallace proving to be that early on as well. When you look across the board for both teams, 12 of 25 shooting for the Thunder compared to 40%, 8 of 20 from the field for the Pacers. 4 of 6 from deep compared to 3 of 8 for Oklahoma City in favour there. And you've only got to look at free throws. 4 of 5 compared to 3 of 5 does make a little bit of a difference. Rebounding wise, Oklahoma City Thunder controlling the boards there. Ball movement was key. You had 12 shots with 10 assists there for Oklahoma City. It was 6 of 8 compared to Indiana. So again, that ball movement really getting around. Turnovers up in the case of Indiana. They had 7 total turnovers compared to just the one for Oklahoma City. So 10-point lead in the first term, and things started to really move from there for the Thunder. In the second quarter, they took another handy victory. Won the quarter 27-23 and managed to lead at the half, 59-45, 14-point buffer at the half. Nice quarter for Jalen Williams, stepping up again, 10 of his 40 in the second term. He also had 1 rebound, managed to go 3 or 4 from the field, perfect from deep and perfect from the line. You then had another 6 from Gilgeous-Alexander, 2 block shots to go with 2 assists and a turnover. 1 of 3 from the field, 4 of 4 from the line. Didn't make 1 from deep. Again, the numbers at the free throw line don't necessarily lead credence to him not being what they have dubbed, and that is a free throw merchant, but you've only got to look at the way that he managed to accentuate the contact. You've got a player who's holding you by the shoulder, and there's no call, and you go up, the player doesn't get out of the way in the time. Don't care whether you swing your arms or not, you're going to get called for that. Very, very easy there. And then on the other side of it, again, Aaron Wiggins, nice contribution there. 6 points and a rebound, adding 2 or 4 from the field, 2 or 3 from deep. Didn't attempt it from the line. The crucial points out of that one there. So far, as you can see, Tyrese Halliburton, no points in the first half. He was hobbling after an injury in that first quarter. Wasn't able to get everyone else involved as well. No one scored more than 5 points in that second term there for the Pacers. They were 7 of 25 from the field. Granted, 8 of 21 is not much better for Oklahoma City, but when you are certainly throwing more away than you're getting, it does become a concern. When you're not converting from the line, it does become a concern. And even more so for Indiana, they were plus 8 on the boards. So they really had that advantage to try and make the most of it. The Thunder locked in a little bit more defensively, though. 5 block shots really counteracting those extra boards. But it was just not able to capitalise on those extra possessions there for Indiana. I mean, they had 6 more offensive rebounds and still managed to score 4 less points. They still converted, at a lesser clip. They just were not on. Oklahoma City, by means, were on. They were converting. They were getting it done. Getting to the half there, as I mentioned, difference there on the scoreboard, 14 points. But you look at some of the other factors as well. Indiana alone crushed it defensively. Crushed it on the glass in that second term. They had a plus 6 rebound advantage. The assist markers at that point for 20 baskets made for Oklahoma City, 16 assists, 11 of 15 in comparison there for Indiana. So much of a muchness. You keep going across the board defensively. You had 8 steals and 7 block shots for Oklahoma City. You had 3 and 2 by comparison to Indiana. So it's a huge turnaround defensively. Even with board control there. It comes down to efficiency from the field at that point. Oklahoma City had only taken 1 more field goal. They'd only taken that at the range of a 3-pointer, and they'd taken 2 less free throws. The conversion rate of 43.5% from the field compared to making a third to Indiana. They were 47.1% from deep compared to 31.2% for Indiana. And they were 11 of 12, 91.7% from the stripe compared to 71.4% for Indiana. So you can't say it was a lack of possession. You can't say it was a lack of imbalance. It was just the fact that Oklahoma City were flat out playing them there to that third point. I mean, if you want to have a look at things as well, points off turnovers, Indiana had conceded 15 points, I think, at that point there off their turnovers. So, that proves to almost be your margin. On the other side of things there, Oklahoma City, they had turned the ball over and conceded 1 point. You look at other factors in this as well. Points in the paint there. Indiana were down 18 to 22 on that one. Second chance points, despite those 6 offensive rebounds, only a 5-point difference in second chance points. Fast break baskets, 12 zip to Indiana, so they weren't even able to get out and run. I mean, it was astounding the way the Thunder had played that game. But to their credit, Indiana did fight back, and that was what the third term was for. Huge third term. TJ McConnell, 13 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 1 steal, 6 of 8 from the field, perfect from the line. Huge contribution. Not to be outdone, though, the 40-point man, Jalen Williams. He had 13 as well, 2 rebounds and an assist, 4 or 5 shooting, perfect from the line, perfect from deep, 4 or 5 of the line. So they started having a nice little battle there. And again, you need a consistency in this game. He'd had it during the series, but another 9 points chipping in for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. 9 points, 1 assist, and 3 or 6 in the field, 3 or 4 from the line. No bench production compared to 20 points there for Indiana. It always has proven to be the crux. Granted, your starters didn't do anything too special there for the Pacers. First 2 points on the board for Halliburton through 3 quarters. Siakam, 4 points. You know, there was a lot to be questioned as to how this one was going to unfold. It came down to pretty heavy conversion. It came down to making the most of what you could do on the floor and locking in better defensively there for Indiana as well. 12 of 22 shooting compared to 9 of 22. They made 3 more baskets there. 3 of 9 compared to 2 of 7 from deep. So converted more from outside. Perfect from the line. Didn't give up a free throw. They did lose the rebound battle, but they did lead the assist battle in that quarter. 6 of 12 baskets assisted on, 3 of 9 in comparison there to Oklahoma City. Steals and defense there, I mean, you're talking 5 steals, getting some points off turnovers, really making the most of it there. 34 to 28 in that third term, really trying to close that gap, starting to bring some energy into it. And you could just see there was a little bit of concern because Indiana were coming at them really, really hard, really, really fast. They were a chance to take over when they needed to. And the start of the fourth quarter, it got really, really scary. That game got to within 2 points, which is really interesting to think about, particularly when you look at what the final score was. The game got within 2 points. Indiana were flying. They were converting big points. They were getting big baskets. They were putting the pressure on. But with about 7.5 minutes to go, the Oklahoma City Thunder flicked a switch. And I haven't seen them flick that switch like that very often in the postseason when they haven't needed to. But this was a real, we need to hurry up and shut this series down. And that's exactly what they did in those final 7 minutes. They ended up winning the fourth quarter 33 to 30. They managed to rally in comparison there. They did shoot the ball worse, but they were getting more shots off. They were getting more attempts. That led by the fact that they only turned the ball over once. They gave up 2 points. Indiana gave it up 8 times, conceded 13 points off of that. And when you look at the turnover rates there, only 1 turnover for Oklahoma City in the fourth quarter, 8 to Indiana. Steals 6 to 1. Block shots 2 to 1, all in favour of Oklahoma City. Boards pretty much even there, 11 to 10 in favour of Indiana. Assists 5 on 11, 6 on 10, reasonably close, albeit a favour for the Pacers. The Pacers actually, from an efficiency standpoint, stuck with them and outscored them. 10 of 15 from the field, 3 of 5 from deep, but sheer amount of numbers of turnovers and extra possessions, proving costly in a game that was as close as 2. Margin finishes at 11. Talked about 10 of 15 shooting for Indiana in this fourth term, 11 of 26 for the Oklahoma City Thunder. 3 of 5 from deep, 4 of 8 for Indiana, 4 of 8 for Oklahoma City, 7 of 9 from the free throw line. It came down to not maintaining the basketball, and it was just that flick of the switch for Oklahoma City. Almost 4 or 5 straight possessions with turnovers. Caruso diving head first. Big quarter there from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Another big quarter from Jalen Williams. Player of the quarter was Pascal Siakam. I mean, he's the ultimate reason they got back into this game. He had a huge stretch that first 5 or so minutes. He had 14 points for the quarter, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, a steal and a block. He was perfect from the field and from the line in the quarter. As I said, 14 points for him. But Jalen Williams, 11 points, 1 rebound. Didn't turn the ball over. 4 of 8 from the field, 1 or 2 from deep. 50-50 from the line. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, again, big quarter in points, but was able to hit the open man. Had 4 assists there, 2 steals, 1 block shot and a turnover. 3 of 9 from the field. Didn't make a 3, as I mentioned earlier. Perfect from the stripe. Managed to have a 30 and 10 game. Was huge. Had 4 steals, 2 blocks. was huge. I still think Jalen Williams was the player of the game, and he's finally put that series, culminated in putting the series together for himself when it matters the most. But Shea just with a huge game, proving why he's the MVP. Wasn't getting the score done where he needed to, was able to hit that open man, particularly Jalen Williams. There are a couple of sequences there where Shea won't get the assist, but he certainly had the hockey pass. The extra work that he put in just to get the man open, just to really provide an easy shot. As much credit there as I give to Jalen Williams. 2 huge games, a massive, massive effort there. The Thunder, they secure it. They sit there 1 win away from an NBA title. If we look in the second half, they actually got outscored by 3, as I mentioned. But the difference is across the board. They took 11 more shots, made 2 less from the field. They took 1 more 3, made as many from the field. They took 4 more free throws, made 1 more. Battle on the boards pretty even. Indiana outpassed them. Better defensive numbers, you would have to say, and better efficiency maintaining possession from Oklahoma City proved crucial. And again, locked in defensively, kept control of the ball when they had it, were able to generate where they could. 24 second half points there for Jalen Williams, 18 for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and you had 18 for the game for Siakam. 18 in the second half for Siakam as well. Halliburton with only 4 points, his worst game probably of his career, and he is injured as well, but certainly for his career. When you look at the numbers for the game, we talk about it 120 to 109. You look at the rebound factor there as well. The Pacers out-rebounded the Thunder by 5, 50 to 45. 24-23 assists in favour of Oklahoma City. When you look at the steal numbers, 15 to 9 in favour of Oklahoma City. Block shots, 12 to 4 in favour of Oklahoma City. Turnovers in favour of Oklahoma City, 11 to 22. They took 12 more shots, made 3 more from the field overall. Took 2 more shots from deep compared to the Thunder. By the way, that shooting was 37 of 82 for the Pacers, 40 of 94 from the Thunder. So getting shots up. 11 of 30 from deep from the Pacers, 14 of 32 for the Thunder. And from the free throw line, 24 of 30 compared to 26 of 32 in favour of the Thunder. They were better defensively. They maintained the basketball. They were able to utilise and get on the board with more possessions. And they won the basketball game. They dominated it for all but maybe a quarter of and a half. Injury to the key leader of the opposition, and he wasn't able to impact the game. Had that Draymond Green level stat line. It's just a fact. I mean, their best player, realistically, when you're going to look from contributions, their 2 best players were McConnell and Siakam, but you can't compete with 71 points from the 2 best players in the opposition. Looking at further issues there, 11 turnovers for 9 points there in favour of for Oklahoma City. It was 23 turnovers, conceding 32 points for the Indiana Pacers. Just ridiculous. Points in the paint. Pacers getting in there more, 48 to 42. Second chance points despite the battle on the offensive glass and the battle on the rebound. Second chance points were 21 to 17 for the Thunder. When you look at fast break points, Pacers 13, Thunder was 17. This was just a game for the Oklahoma City Thunder. For 3 quarters, the Oklahoma City Thunder controlled this basketball game. And the scary part is Indiana played some pretty bad basketball at times and were within 2. But the problem is that they've had to recover so much that when they got within 2, Oklahoma City lifted the lid again. They took off again. And they took off by so much that it's hard to comprehend how Indiana at any point have been able to keep up with this particular team. That's the difference we're seeing in these teams right now. The injury to Halliburton is obviously crucial. There's no doubt about it. But we're also looking on the other side of things. Jalen Williams has built up to this crescendo in Game 5. He finally put it all together. You look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The shot's not dropping. He goes the assist machine. He's now one of 4 players to have 15, 30 pieces in a playoff run. The other 3 guys are Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, and Hakeem Olajuwon, and they all won a title. If Shai has another 30 piece, he's going to join Jordan and Olajuwon and have arguably the most consistent scoring run to win a title in 30 years. A generation. A legitimate generation. He's going to potentially join he's going to be one of those players that has 600 points and a championship. Like, we're talking upper echelon of the 600. That's the level that he's getting at. That's the level that he's playing at. It's huge. It is huge. For Indiana, though, they still have light at the end of the tunnel. Do they make a really bold play with TJ McConnell in Game 6 at home? Do they worry about Halliburton? Do they play him to no return? We know what calves and ankle injuries mean for superstar players in this day and age. You cannot run the risk. Will they do it's the question. They need a big game out of somebody other than Pascal Siakam if they are going to be a chance. Whether that is the bench producing at home, I don't know. There's a lot of unanswered questions, but I do know one thing, and that's that the Oklahoma City Thunder, in winning Game 5 of the 2025 NBA Finals, sit one win away from a championship and literally cementing themselves as one of the greatest teams that the league has ever seen. Anyway, guys, that's been me. That's been my review for Game 5 of the 2025 NBA Finals. I'm out.